Well, hello there, I'm Détroit. I'm not particularly fond of cars. Like, I don't know much about cars, and I don't really see the things people enjoy about them. Because of that, it's something I've never really thought about drawing. And since I want to be able to draw whatever I want, I need to practice. So today, I'm drawing a car. The goal isn't really to make a realistic car, because that's boring, but rather to see the problems that could arise. At the same time, I'm trying a fun method to draw. As you can see, I'm only using values. At the bottom corner, I have a cube, which I'll use as reference. From it, you can see the different orientations will be lit differently. That will be my approach, going from a cube with very basic shading, then adding edges with values in between the two, and thus giving three-dimensionality to the car. I'm not sure it's gonna work well. Or rather, I'm sure this isn't the easiest way to draw it, but today I don't want to sketch or do line art. So I'm going in completely from imagination. It is fun to do sometimes. Drawing from reference is the best if you want a good artwork, but if you just want to have fun, drawing from imagination is really nice too. At the end of this process, I'll turn the black and white drawing to colors using blending modes. I basically just added a red layer below the car and changed the car layer from normal to difference blending mode. This way the dark becomes red, but the white becomes the opposite, and so the car is two tones. You'll see what I'm talking about. I didn't plan on it at all, but it looked kinda cool and futuristic, so I kept it. Also, as you can see, or will see, the design changes a bit over time as I'm drawing. I'm not sure about the shape of the roof of the car or the spoiler that's behind it. I'm trying out different things like exhausts and more design elements, but I only keep the spoiler and the sort of large tubes at the side. You will see a bit later on, I blend the tubes on the side as if they were part of the body of the car. It makes it impossible for doors to exist, but honestly, who cares? I know cars have doors, but not this one. I guess it has to be built around the driver. As I'm recording this long after I finished the drawing, I realize I also forgot to add many important things in the car. For example, side mirrors. I don't know much about cars, but I'm pretty sure they are important and they're supposed to be here. Ah well. Actually, I do know a bit about cars. I mean, enough to have a driver's license at least. I've had my license since I was 18, in 2015. In France, you can't get a proper car before 18. I don't own a car, but my parents do so when I visit them, I can drive around still. Sometimes when I need to buy furniture or something, I also take my friend's car, or if we are on a trip, we'll alternate between drivers. I'm used to manual gears, by the way. As a French person, it feels completely normal, but I feel like I should make it clear since I know in a few places, like the US, most cars are automatic. Tell me in the comments if that's true, I'm not really sure. I've never driven a car with an automatic gearbox. Apart from that, I have a basic knowledge of all the elements of a car. Like, I know how to change a wheel, or fill the reserve with gas, check the pressure of the tires. I know how an engine works, even though I wouldn't be able to tell which element is which. I do like engines though. Like every piece of mechanics, I like how it looks and the intricate design of all the parts together, with moving parts, tubes, etc. It reminds me of abstract ink drawings. Like, I'm not fond of cars, but I can still see the wonderful pieces of technology and engineering they represent. What I don't really like though is the environmental impact, of course. Especially cars to be used by only one person and cars used to travels that can be done otherwise. I'm talking, for example, about people who drive to work even though it's a 10-minute walk. That's why I don't own a car. First of all, it's expensive to buy first and then to maintain in good conditions, plus the gas and the insurance. Secondly, I don't need it. In my daily life, I walk or bike to work and there are tramways going around every few minutes for when I go to the city center or when I go buy groceries. The only moments I wouldn't mind having a car is when I cross the country by train to visit my family. The train ride is slower than it is with a car and is as expensive. But it's not even close to what would make me buy a car at the moment. I've thought about electric cars, which are much better for the environment, but since I want to drive across the country, the autonomy isn't good enough. Besides, I'm personally against new electric cars. If you look into it, you'll find that making a brand new car is worse in terms of resource and energy use than continuing to use an old combustion car. The marketing behind putting old cars in the trash and buying new electric ones is partially lying. When the two vehicles are already made, yes, it's better for the planet to use an electric car, but changing one for the other is not. Anyway, that was the ecological part of this video. It's fine if you don't share the same views. It makes me a bit sad, but it's fine. I don't want to delve into any topic that could be seen as political. It's not the point of this channel. Sometimes you can hear me say stuff about ecology because our planet is a beautiful thing that we shouldn't keep on ruining, but that's as far as I'll go, I think. Drawing is bigger than that. It can unite more people, and I don't want to seem against you if your views are different, but you're just here to watch fun YouTube videos about visual arts. Only if you're a bigot, a racist, or intolerant in any way. Then that's different. You can go fuck yourself and please forget about this YouTube channel entirely. Anyway, cars, am I right? They go vroom very fast. Most of them have 4 wheels and pedals. Actually, is that even true? Like supercars have things on the side of the driving wheel for shifting gears instead of pedals, right? What is even the definition of a car? I'll have to check. I'll be right back. Okay, so Wikipedia says, a car or automobile is a wheeled motor vehicle that is used for transportation. Most definitions of cars say that they run primarily on roads, seat 1 to 8 people, have 4 wheels and mainly transport people instead of goods. So cars with 3 or 6 wheels aren't cars. Alright. I can see the transporting people part of the definition. 1 to 8 people seem a bit arbitrary, but why not? Let's keep learning a bit. I still have a bit of time before the end of the video. The English word car either comes from the Latin carus for wheeled vehicle or from Middle English carre, itself coming from Old French, itself coming from carros in Gaulish, which probably is derived from Latin anyway. I also just discovered that engine and motor aren't exactly the same word in English, compared to French where they're both the same. If you're curious, a motor runs on electricity, changing electrical energy into mechanical energy, whereas an engine runs on combustion. Historically speaking though, motor means motion, it's to move in Latin, and again the English word comes from the French. Engine comes from the Latin ingenium, that has become the French ingénieur, and you guessed it, from French to English with engineer. At first, engine was just a physical device. Okay, I think it's time I stop falling into the rabbit hole of etymology. I absolutely love to know the origin of words. Sometimes two words are very similar but come from completely different places, and sometimes it's the opposite. Between French, English, and Spanish, also a basic knowledge of German, and with a very tiny base of Latin from school like 12 years ago, you tend to link a lot of words together, and it's fascinating understanding why they're linked. I hope you like this drawing process, or this little chit-chat, or both. I'll admit, I didn't have much to say about the drawing per se. After all, it's just values that get refined and blended into shapes, then a few tricks with layer modes and colors. If you want to see me draw something specific in the future, tell me in the comments. Subscribe for more art twice a week, sometimes with a more scripted commentary and sometimes threads of consciousness like today. As always, you can find all of my art on my Instagram at d3_sd, as well as on various other platforms linked in the description. I'm Detroit. I don't care about cars, but now I know how to draw them, I think. Bye!